is learn how to use a list. Okay, and a list has different. First, you need to understand what list is, right? So if I say list 1, right, and I put there, as you can see on my screen, I say Mudassir, right, is my name, and I say 45 is my age, and I would say 300 is my salary. That could be Bitcoin, so don't get confused. And then we say 10% pay rise every year I get. Now, if you look at this, this is just a bit of HR detail, isn't it? Right? It's a human resource detail. So if I want to print that detail, I would do this by simply saying HR, and I would say 0, where the Mudassir is, right? That's where my name is, right? I would say name, and then I would put here plus HR, because it's a string. The first one is string, right? So that's why I can easily concatenate with the name. So if I do that, for instance, I will have name Mudassir like this appeared on the screen, as you see, right? So may I request you to pay attention, because it's very important that you understand what I'm doing. Because if you pay more, if you're attentive for the next 15 minutes, you will fully understand the concept. If you miss something, you can ask me. So let's move on to the next one, is that we want to concatenate also the age. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say age like this, and then I concatenate HR, that would be HR 1. Why? Because if you look at this here, right, this one is HR, Mudassir is HR 0, 45 would be stored in HR 1, right, and 300 will be stored in HR 2, and 10 will be stored in HR 3. So that's the way you can continue with your list. But the problem would be that when I run this, I'll get an error. What error I'll get? It will say that you cannot concatenate a string value with an integer. So this HR is integer, right? We needed that as an integer, and to concatenate it, I have to put this str around it, and that's it. It will be all good. Look, age 45. Okay, and then I can continue, and I could do the rest as well. And that is basically plus sign. And I would do here after age I say salary, okay, like this, and then I concatenate HR. What was that? 0, 2. Here you go, 2. Str. Why? Because it's a string. It's not a string. It's an integer. That's why. And then I'm gonna add the final one, and that is what? The bonus. I would call it bonus, right? 10% bonus. And then I concatenate str again, and I would say what was that? HR. Here you go, like this, HR 2, 3. Now you look, this looks like the use of list for an HR system, right? You can put somebody's salary, or you can do whatever you like. I'm going to give a little break there, right? Print. I would do a little bit print a line maybe, yeah, so that it goes a little down. Okay, so this looks like an HR system now, isn't it? I mean, you want to give a little space between the bonus and the thing, you got to give it space here, and you'll get a space there. So this is how you use print command, and you could use list. Now the problem is, if I want to store record for Tamim and Idnan, what would I have to do? Now your name's on the record, so that's the good news. You become famous if my video goes viral, which it won't, so you don't have to worry about that one. Coming back to the HR system, so if I want to add those records, what I have to do? I have to do another thing, right? I have to do here Tamim. Tamim is famous already. So Tamim, and then we get Tamim is probably 22. I just take a guess, and your salary is 250 bitcoins, and you get 20%. And I'm going to give you a bit lower salary than mine because I had to do PhD to get the salary, and you're still on your path to. But obviously, if you consider your extra income, that could go easily beyond 250, I'm sure. So now we got this one. So now we need to understand, oh wow, how do I print this then? I mean, I print another line, and then I start from Tamim and print another record under the salary. That would be complex, isn't it? Yeah. How would I print on the next line Tamim? How would I know I need to print the next? If it's like 1000 record, how would I know? That's very difficult, isn't it? Right? So there is a solution to this problem. I mean, I can print this, but I think it would be difficult to do another line like this. I could do another line like this. I'll have to print it like this, right? If I print this, Tamim, I would say, where does Tamim start from? Tamim start from HR 4. I would say 4, and that would be 5, and that would be 6, and that would be 7. And this is a very odd way, I will say, to do programming, because it's not recommended. This does the job, but if it's a huge 1000 record, how would you remember? And if somebody does not enter one thing, and if you want to take an input from the user, for instance, for all this, you can do that. You know that. Yeah? You can take an input from the user as well, right? But then it's a little hard, isn't it? A user skips something, and so what is the solution? The solution is that you don't do this way. You wanna call this one name, this one age, this one you wanna name it as a salary, and then bonus. So you wanna have 4 lists rather than 1. So how do we do that? And then we take the value from the user. So I'll do this here, name, and instead of I could do a name and I could do a name empty list, right? Name, and then what? Age, another empty list. Then what? Name, age, salary. I think 3 is enough. Bonus, we don't need to give bonus. Now people are, or maybe we could give a bonus, no problem. It shouldn't be hard. Give me bonus like this. This is how you create an empty list. Now, if you want to add something to the list, you use append command, right? So now we want to write, take values from the user into that list. So how do we do that? We say name dot append. That means you add to an empty list. It will be added as a first record, like name sub 0. Okay, and then you want to put their input command like this, and you say, please. Not to say be polite. Just enter the employee name. That's it. Don't have to be polite. Don't have to say please do that. I mean, this is a bit of politeness culture. I think it's too much. Waste a lot of time, and I'm going to make unnecessarily this video too long. So we can skip that one. And then what do you want to do next? You want to add age. Enter age, right? Age again. Append. Yeah. Append is a command which you want to add a value to a list. You use append function like this. So if I say append, let me explain you append. I'm sorry, I should have explained you append. Right? Okay, that's good question. So if I say name here, name dot append, I can pass any parameter here. I can say Mudassar, right? Like this. And when I want to print it, I would print it like this: name sub 0, because the Mudassar will go to 0. Right? The first time I append it, it goes to 0. See here? Oh no. What is the problem? It says right, okay.
It's spelling right.
Append like this. Terrible spelling. My English teacher wasn't as good as I thought he was. So Mudassar, you see, I pass on Mudassar, it appended. So if I want to pass on another value to this, right, like this, I want to pass another value, let's say Tamim, right? Tamim, and that would be what? Sub 1? Tamim will be printed in sub 1, isn't it? Yeah? Yeah, name sub 1. Everybody's listening. Okay. Now Mudassar and Tamim, because Tamim, see, print Mudassar, name sub 0 is Mudassar, you can append it. So how about I don't do that? Instead of appending this way, I say input, okay, and I say enter your name, like this. Enter second name, and this would be again input as well. First one we take from the user, and second one we append it ourselves. So if we do that, enter your name. I say Mudassar, and it's going to print Mudassar and the 8 line 8, yeah? And then Tamim. Or this time I say enter your name, and I say Mark, maybe, yeah? Mark and Tamim, right? It could be any name. you could put there. And that's why we want to append it, and we want to append these records into this. So second record go into this. So this way, if it carries on, then you can have 0, 1, on all the zeros, like name sub 0, age sub 0, salary sub 0, and bonus sub 0, one record, name sub 1, salary sub 1, age sub 1, bonus sub 1, second record. Then third record would be name sub 2, age sub 2, and all that, so on and so forth. So what we do here is, instead of saying enter employee record, right, employee name, enter employee name, yeah, and then you don't want to print it. What you want to do is you want to append second one, and what do you want to append? Age dot append, and this one would be input enter employee age. How about that? Is that good? The third one is salary. So this one would be append input enter what do you want to say here? Enter salary. Oh, employee salary, right? I'll keep it same, employee salary. And the last one, you want to do what? Bonus append, and then you want to check this as an input as well. Input, and you want to say enter employee bonus percentage, 20% or whatever you want to say, right? Okay, salary, employee salary, bonus, yeah, it's all good. Yeah, quotation mark, thank you. Yeah, here you go. And also the double, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, now you got this, and this is for one record. What about the second record, the third record? For that you need to use a loop, isn't it? Right? So let's start up with this one and see how it goes. So it's a Matessa. I'm 45-year-old and I got 200 bitcoins as a salary, and percentage of increase is 10% increase, and that's it. This is just a one record. So how about we want to add Tamim's salary or another employee salary? So for that one, what we would need to do is we need to put a loop outside this, right? So we say while, do you want to call it, we can call it loop is equal to 1. This is the easiest way to put a loop. Right. Loop is equal to 1. And what is loop? You can set loop as a 1 here. Yeah. Loop a 1, and you say while loop is equal to 1. And this way, it all goes under the while. So in order to bring all under the while, all you have to do is do this one, indentation. Yeah. And here, at the end of it, you say press print. No, input actually. You say loop is equal to input. Yeah. And you say press 1 to continue, anything else to exit. This way it will ask you to enter a value, and it will, if you press 1, loop will continue, because as long as loop is equal to 1, and you want to turn it into an integer as well, because that is actually an integer value. So this way loop will continue over and over and over, right, until you press any other value. So this way it allows us to enter multiple records. For example, here, yeah, it's slow, a little bit slow. Oh, well, server is lost. So I think our connection to the server is lost, which normally doesn't happen, but okay, fair enough. Okay, so what we got here? Oh no, this is loop equals double equal, guys, right? Because it's a loop double equal 1. That's a comparison operator. So that's the right. Okay, Matessa, age 45, salary is, let's say, 200 Bitcoin. We agreed. Bonus 10%. Then we get to me. Oh no, we want to continue, right? 1. I want to continue 1, and then ask me again. The mean salary age 23. 2. That's pretty young, and at a very young age, Tamim's already earning 600 bitcoins and double the salary I have, and he get 30% pay rise as well. So, and then we press any other key to exit, right? Press 4 and we exit. Yeah? You got it? Yeah? So the difficult part is to focus. So if you can focus on this is going to be a long program. And if you can focus, then that would be really good, right? So I'm going to keep smiling while I'm doing this. And I'm going to do the next one, and that is now we need to print this, isn't it? We have actually entered the record. Then we need to print these record as well, right? So for that one, we're going to use another loop. Okay, we're going to call it for loop, for I in, and for that one, first we need to set is every time we take a record, we need to add another variable here called record, so we know how many records we have entered. Records are 0, set to 0. So how many records we entered? Records is equal to records plus 1. So every time you enter a record, you already entered 1 into it. So by the time you finish this loop, you would know how many records you have entered, right? Yeah. So for I in range, I would say, and I would say range 0 start from 0 and it goes up to records, right, like this. Yeah, and then we can use just a print command to print all the records that we have entered by like this. Name, employee name, you want to call it employee name? Employee name, then plus sign, what was that? Name, sub what? Sub I, because we're running the loop with I, right? So we can say name sub I. And then the second one would be age. Okay, and then this one, because age is an integer, so we got to put a string around it, right? Then we can do age sub I. Yeah? Because all the integer cannot be concatenated with a string or like with a plus sign. Yeah. So it's an age, and then we got what? Salary. Okay, and then we concatenate salary. Salary is also an integer, so we got to do this. Okay, and then we do salary like this. And then we do this, and another one we do, what else was there? Bonus. That's the last one, right? So bonus is again an integer. So we gotta use str, and we say bonus, and then we say I. Now what would happen is when we run this program, it will print all. The record that we have entered using this for loop, right? Do you agree with that? Yeah. Do you think I'm going to zoom out a little bit so that you can actually see what is happening? Okay. Here we go. So this for loop here is going to print everything that we have been working for. Here. So let's do this, right? So I'm gonna print a line there here before I start so that I know this is our printout like this. So it's a bit of divider line. So after we done this, before we do that, okay, we have here, we got an error to fix. What is that error that we are going to fix? Salary, I.
Yeah.
Oh, here, this one. Okay. Hey guys, so name would be Mudassar. Age would be 45. Then we have employee salary 300. And then we get a bonus 10%. Then we gotta continue, yes. And then we say Tamim. Then we say age is 22. Then we say employee salary is 400. Just keep him happy so he doesn't feel like he's less than Mudassar. And then 20% pay rise. I think 2 is enough, so we will exit now. And when we exit, it will print using the second loop exactly like this. Employee name, Mudassar, age 45, salary 300, bonus this one here 10, and the same with the second record. And it is going to depend it's going to print all the record that you have actually entered. Okay, so this is the basic printing using for loop. You can do another thing, and you could be a bit biased there. You could say you can add an employee ID, isn't it? Right? You can add an employee ID, can't you? So if you add an employee ID, and you can search on employee ID. So I say employee, I would say ID just. And I want to search the record. When I entered, I only want the system to ask me which record you want to enter. I would say ID, like this. And then when it's entered, I would put another loop here outside. I would say while, I say loop, while true, right? Like this I could do, right? Or I could define another variable here called loop 2, okay, is equal to 1, same way as we did on top, right? To keep it consistent. Loop 2, and then I'm going to say while loop 2 is equal to 1, then do what, right? Do, and then we bring this for loop under while loop by tag. Now for loop is running under while loop, okay? And then what we're going to do is, here we're going to ask, please, we're going to say search, right, is equal to, and we're going to say input please enter the ID of the employee for which you are searching HR record. Okay. Now I need to take ID as input as well, isn't it? Yeah? Like this. So I do under the loop ID here, ID dot append. Okay, and that's an integer, right? So I need to do int integer. ID is integer, so I will do this as an integer.
Does also the age and the salary and the bonus all is integer?
Yeah, they're all integer. You can put integer here if you want to. Yeah, you can put integer here. Yeah, I didn't realize they are integer. I didn't put them as integer, but you better put. Thanks for reminding. You can make all these salaries and everything else integer. They were taken as a string. You can make it integer like this. That's good. So now we ID, because ID we want to compare and search, and we want to keep it integer. And then we do is we ask the user to enter an ID, search ID, and when he search, so if we say here, we're going to say here if I is equal to what was that would be ID sub I. ID sub I is equal to search, right? If the ID is this, then print this. So this would become under this now. And we could say at the end of the loop, we could say press 1 to continue this loop, not this one, this while loop, right? So we say loop 2 is equal to input, same thing as we're doing it here, right? This one. I can copy this one. Yeah, and then when I run it, I will see that I got a problem. Where I got a problem? I got a problem here. This one. Yeah, and okay, my name is Majasa. Oh, what is the? Oh, first one is ID. It's integer. Sorry, it has to be ID first one. Not name, I would say I have to change it here, employee ID. My ID is, let's say 20, all right, and then we say 21 and so on and so forth. By the way, you also want to print ID as well here, isn't it? Within that employee name, before employee name you want to print employee ID, okay, and then you want to add here str ID, okay, sub I, and then you want to do plus sign, and then you want to do this name. Okay, now employee ID and employee name, another that will be also printed. Let's do this again. Majasa. Oh, what else is there now? Because append, okay, this is the problem. ID is, let me go there and see. ID is there, okay. Input, okay, so this is, we got a append input, or this one ID. So we're running 1, 2, and 3, right? So 1, 2, and 3. This is okay. 1 and 2, too close, fine. I don't see any problem. So what is the problem? The invalid literal integer with a base 10 Montessor.
Oh, you put Montessor in ID.
Montessor in ID.
Run it again.
Oh, right, I'm sorry. Yeah, I keep making the same mistake. So I'm going to say 20 ID. Then we say Montessor because it's an integer value. Then I'm saying age 40 and salary 300, and then I'm going to do bonus 10%. And then I'm going to continue. I'm going to say ID Tamim 22, 21. Then I'm going to say Tamim. Then I'm going to say age 22, and I'm going to say 400, and I'm going to say employee percentage 30. Now I entered two values, right? And I exit now. I press anything. And I say enter the ID of the employee you for which you are searching the HR record. So remember that Tamim's ID 21. I say 21, and it's gonna print. It didn't print Tamim. So let's see why. I'm gonna see why it didn't print Tamim.
Because you put you didn't put
ID is equal to search. Okay, then print this.
you didn't put the correct
I did that here, but I said I in range start from 0, go to record, and I need to do this. Without this loop, right? Without this loop, I need to search it. Starting from 1, ID is equal to search. Okay, I got that one. I need to also put here integer. Well, let's make integer as a search, and then I do this. Yeah, so we run this like this and see what's the problem. ID 20, Montessor, age 44, salary 300, bonus 10%. Then we're gonna continue. ID 21, Tamim, age 22, plus 400, 20% bonus, and then we exit. We put 0, and we exit. And they ask us, please enter the employee ID for which you're searching the HR record, and I put employee ID as 21, which was Tamim. And here you go. It printed Tamim's ID, okay, 21, and then I ask, it's asked to continue. Yes, I want to continue. Okay, then I put my ID 20. It'll print my record. You see here, this one. Here, this is my record now. Okay, and finally I put continue, and I put here record. Let's say any record which does not exist. Okay, 10. So it will not print anything. You see, but I say 20 again, 1 again. It will continue, and I will say 20. 20 is my ID. So you see my record will be printed here. See this one, 20. So this way you can make a program, and you can press 0 to exit. All right. Thank you for watching.